Chapter 13. Ella on the Run. Ella cut through her neighbors' yards on the way to Noah's house. She hurdled the hedges in Mrs. Ryan's yard and dodged the lawn ornaments at Mrs. Pierre's. She jumped fences and ducked tree limbs. Once a branch snagged her earmuffs, and she had to turn around to snatch them back. As she neared Noah's house, she saw someone in the driveway. It was Noah. He was climbing onto his bike. "Noah!" she called out. "Noah, wait!" But Noah sped out of sight before she could get his attention. Ella ran into Noah's yard and happened to kick something on the lawn beside the mailbox. She picked it up, a pouch. She poked her fingers inside and found it empty. Something was in here, she said. Something important. She spun around and took off to find Richie, who lived on her street. She went back home the same way she'd come, but this time, when she cut across Mrs. Pierre's lawn, she crashed into a pink flamingo and flattened it to the ground. At Richie's house, she found a spot beneath his second-story bedroom window and pulled a small clump of dirt from a flower bed. She pitched it at the glass. She waited a few seconds and then hurled another handful of dirt at the window. "Come on, Richie," she whispered frantically. "Wake up!" Suddenly she gasped. From the corner of her eye, she caught sight of someone standing in the next yard. A man, tall and lean. He wore a hat with a wide, circular brim. He had broad shoulders and a long, dark trench coat. Standing with his hands clasped behind his back, he was watching Ella, watching her from the shadows. So deep and dark were the shadows that they hid his face, his eyes, and his intentions. Then he vanished, but not in the all-at-once way that an imaginary thing disappears. Rather, he dissolved. It was as if he'd melted into the shadows. Ella felt goosebumps crawl over her skin. She tried to tell herself that the man hadn't been there at all and that her overworked mind was playing tricks on her. But what had Tank said? Beware of the man who lives in the shadows. He is the shadows. A fresh round of goosebumps dotted her arms, and she tried to rub them away. She glanced up at Richie's window. It was finally sliding open.